Yeah, I was gonna share it a little bit before we start.
Yeah, let me do that too.
You know what I've been doing ever since I got the ability to go live on TikTok? I've been hashtagging like whatever subject is on, like whatever topic I'm on, because I do like wrestling and I do MMA along with the boxing. And so I'll like change the hashtags and I'll change the show title, right? Like every hour with whatever subject. And yeah, it's been helping a lot. It really has. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Mario here, Infighting Exchange, Infighting FX. You know what time it is. It's the fight night time. All right. It's watch along time. And that's exactly what we're doing here tonight. The watch along that wasn't going to take that long, but we're going to talk about the Billy fight. He just beat Selecki in the first round. But I want to welcome my guest co-host for the night, hopping on with me, SHOESHINE. What the fuck is up, bro?
Man, good to be here on a Friday night. Good to be,
bro.
I couldn't get time off today to go to that Canelo press conference, but it looked
I was gonna ask
fire.
you. It did. It did. I was gonna ask you if you went or not.
No, man. I mean, I like a friend told me about it. I had no idea it was this Friday. I just haven't been in the loop, and so I didn't ask for time off to go to that thing. But it just from watching it from my work at home station, I'm like, damn, it looked like it was popping. Over 5,000 people showed up to see it.
Word. That's dope. Hell yeah, bro. Everybody keeps talking about like what's the casual appeal of it, right? And we're not going to get like pay-per-view numbers or anything like that, but that's kind of the whole thing about it. It's like, where does it fall in the pantheon of super fights? You know what I mean? Like, it's tough. It's tough, but I think a lot more people are into it than most hardcores probably figured.
Yeah, I can recall the Terrence Crawford Spence fight. I mean, it felt like a super fight, right? So this is definitely, to me, it's got to be the super fight of the year. I know they want to frame it as a super fight of the century.
Yeah.
But we've been down this road before with Mayweather and Pacquiao, and that fight was two fighters way past their prime, and it's crazy because Pacquiao's going to fight here in just 30 days.
Crazy.
But that fight took too long to marinate, right? So I really don't know what we're going to see in September 13th. But I know that we're going to get two of the top fighters of our current generation in the ring, which is incredible in itself, considering the politics and the business of boxing.
Oh yeah.
So I'm happy about that. I'm happy that this is the first time we're going to get a stadium fight in Las Vegas, the home of the Las Vegas Raiders. That's going to be special. That's going to be epic.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
Actually,
that's
but will
dope.
it materialize into a great fight?
Yo, I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know.
I got some clips too. I want to show you. I got some clips too. I want to show you, but we'll chop it up while we're in between fights. Latif Coyote, I think is how you said it. I can't remember. The former light heavyweight, interim titleist, then turned cruiserweight. People remember he fought Antonio Tarver, or he was going to, right? And then he popped, or did he pop after their fight? And they were supposed to have a rematch. I don't remember, but I just remember everybody popped around that time. Yo, shout out to Follow the Rabbit. Everybody in my community, please go to SHOESHINE Boxing on YouTube. Follow his account. This guy always covering all the dope stuff that's happening from comedy to boxing. I mean, he's a dude's dude, I think is a way to put it without sounding sus. But maybe not. I don't know. But yo, listen, Billy just scored a first round stoppage. We literally connected. We were going live for this fight, and we were going to watch the Wilder fight, which is still probably another 45 minutes away at least. And Billy goes ahead and wins in the first round, dude. What the hell? Like, he couldn't at least given us like a chance to settle in and shit. He had to land that beautiful body shot and uppercut. Hey, what did you see, SHOESHINE?
Man, I see him as one of the top contenders, the future of the super middleweight division. Canelo is currently the undisputed champion. This guy looks way more dangerous, and he has been looking way more dangerous than most of the guys Canelo has fought in his previous 3 fights, including William Stoll. He's a former Olympian. I don't know. He's just checking all the boxes for me. I really think he is above Caleb Plant, where Caleb Plant is right now. I feel he's better than Berlanga. I feel that he's better than Jaime Munguia, and he's kind of the dark horse in the division right now, where I think kind of like where David Morrell was, where people are like, that's way too risky to fight that guy. I think that's where Christian Mbili is right now. He's going to have to force one of these commissions to get him a fight with Canelo. And I don't think it's going to happen. I think he will probably in these next 3 fights that Canelo gets, it's not going to be him for Christian Mbili. He's not going to get the opportunity. What do you think?
Yeah, I doubt he gets the opportunity as well. Lukey on X, on Twitter or whatever, he said that this guy reminds him of a David Lemieux. And
I saw that
tweet.
tweet.
At first, I was like, you know what? No, this is disrespectful. Don't get me wrong. I thought David Lemieux was a very talented fighter for his level. Okay. And by the way, I don't think people ever gave him as much credit for how athletically gifted he was. But anyway, and you know what, though? I kind of understand what he's saying now. This is like a more athletically charged version of that, right? Like he's leaner, he moves better, but he has that kind of approach in the ring that, a guy like Lemieux had. And so there are things about him that I really like, but I can tell you that there are things that the promoters love, right? Kid's got a great smile. He just gave a great interview. Had the commentator chuckling along, and you could hear the fans, cackling, right? The other day, we saw Norman Jr. pull off one of the best wins of the year. Spectacular finish, on the road. I mean, just absolutely nothing more you can say about it. No notes on that performance in the ring. But then he comes outside of the ring, SHOESHINE. He goes outside and fucking kills it even harder. Cuts a promo on Boots with the line of the century. I mean, this was given Adrian Broner vibes, but like actually smart shit. You know what I mean? Like if Jay-Z was writing Adrian Broner's lines, you know what I mean? Not that rhyming everything with the word can isn't, you know what I mean, lyrically charged or anything. But all I'm saying is that it was an incredible night out for him. Inside and outside. It was a star-making performance, beginning and end. And when I see a guy like Mbili, I see he has a potential. He hasn't shown us that yet. But I see potential.
Indeed. By the way, my co-host Drew Evos was wondering, speaking of Philadelphia fighters, because I know Boots, when you talk about Brian Norman, you're going to talk about Boots Ennis eventually. But my co-host wants to know if he could hop on too, if I can send him the link.
Jude, of course.
All right.
You want to send him the link? Is that cool?
Yeah, I sent him the link.
Okay, cool.
But I think he said he has no problem with this BLK Prime, or I don't know where he's watching the Deontay Wilder fight. And I want to say salute to everybody in the chat, that is Spider, Burt McGirt, and my channel, F Donuts. Appreciate you guys just hanging out. We're waiting for that Deontay Wilder. Will we see the return of the great heavyweight American champion? Is he going to have a stellar night? I think he is, dog, because I watched that guy who he's fighting, Herndon.
Yeah.
And, he got sparked out pretty bad by Richard Torres of Fresno.
Yes.
So, but like Drew was telling me, Deontay Wilder's he's going to have an opportunity to possibly contend for a title again off of this, whatever performance happens tonight. That's really impressive.
Shit. Wow. Hey, what's going on, Drew?
What's up, man?
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm good. It's good to see you again.
Oh, man. I guess you watched SmackDown earlier, too.
Yeah. Well, I stopped it at the promo because I didn't want to miss it. I got to see the matches and stuff. A little disappointed in some of the other title matches, but I'm glad Julia took it, honestly. But yeah, I'm waiting to see the promo because I saw Twitter blow up about what's going on with CM Punk. Everybody's saying it was an embarrassment ritual, a humiliation ritual. That's what everybody's calling it. So I got to see it for myself. I'm going to take my time. Did you get to see Suleki and Mbili? Or really, let's say Mbili, because Suleki didn't get
I actually went back and saw it, and I look at it like this. Mbili he's in a division that's really locked up by one guy right now. But we could say it's locked up by one guy right now because he has all the belts, and he's really not really going to fight the other guys in this division because he's tied up with a Terrence Crawford fight where in my opinion, people are overhyping it because it's now on the level of Hagler Hearns, Tyson Lewis, Fury Usyk. It's not on that type of level, in my opinion. I think a lot of people share that opinion, but I see as a fight that Turkey really wanted to fight, and I guess what Turkey wants, it goes. But I don't even. I think I've been saying this. Turkey Al-Sheikh is bad for American boxing for a while. So
yeah, you were one of the guys that was saying that early on. And here's the thing. You know what? No. And I'm gonna stick up for Drew here because I honestly thought you were wrong too. I thought you were too hard on it without us knowing. But yeah, I think you saw the writing on the wall there, Drew. I think you saw that he wasn't coming to play ball. He was coming to make his own game. And so the minute he got a hold of that ball, the same way the Yankees and Lakers and all the championship teams do, throw money at it, he established himself. And it was one thing after the other. And the way that you felt about it, I get, right? So you see all these things as, oh shit, he's doing this, he's doing that. But me on my side, I'm like, oh yes, he's going to do something with the Ring magazine. They're bringing back real copies. I love real I have a fucking collection, a closet full of hard copies that my wife has been begging me to give to Half Price Books. And, it just seemed really cool. But I think he knew how to sell to the hardcores, right? Because he is a hardcore. I don't know if he's got that knowledge, but he has the passion of a hardcore. Let's say that, right? For a while, it felt like one of us was in the driver's seat. Today, it doesn't feel that way anymore. Yeah.
The reason why I was laughing was because I got a kick out of seeing, well, first off, I'm happy if you guys, all the casual fans, remember HBO's heyday. Max Kellerman is back. Me and Drew were talking about that. I was really pleased to see him at the press conference today. But when he started to go in on how wonderful and great, Turkey Al-Sheikh is as the savior of boxing, I'm like, oh fuck, here we go. He's day one praising the boss. This is an incredible fight, and maybe it would have never happened if it wasn't for Turkey Al-Sheikh. But it's not like it's a fight where Canelo is facing the greatest danger at 168, which was previously would have been David Benavidez, right? It's not that. He's facing somebody who's much, much smaller. And it looks like, from what I saw today, it looks like Terrence is gaining weight properly. Everybody makes claims that he's an incredible athlete, that his strength is beyond his weight class. He wrestles, he does this and all that. He seems to be packing on the weight well. But again, at the end of the day, he is fighting a fighter who's, best days were welterweight and lower weight classes. So I get what you're saying, Drew. But today it seemed like, oh, here we go again. Even Max Kellerman's on board saying Turkey's saving boxing.
Like, I look at, he gave us Dmitry Bivol versus Arthur Beterbiev, but both fights, I believe, kind of were like chess matches. There wasn't like a lot of super action in the fight.
It was a hard fight.
Which is
really,
it
like
might be what we see, Drew. I hate to say,
but
it's
styles. But after that, you're seeing like the cards that are coming up, and a lot of these cards are falling short on it. Like the Fatal Fury card, both of them on the same. They were the most boring fight cards that I've seen within the last 10 years of boxing.
Easy.
And I'm gonna say that because I've seen some boring fight cards, but those two topped it. But I look at it like this, that I really, as of right now, after seeing the tweet from Turkey Al-Sheikh about, I'm really gonna be really disappointed if Shawaz and Shakur both get knocked out. You're making it look like that you are showing favoritism, that you might be fixing fights. And now it makes me think about this Crawford-Canelo fight, that this could be a lot of controversy coming to this fight. To me, I say we're all going to see a clear Crawford victory, that he boxes the fight of his life, or we're going to see Canelo clearly win this fight. To a lot of people, going to think he clearly won the fight, but he could get robbed by a decision because who's promoting the card? Turki Al-Sheikh.
Yeah, listen, I get what you're saying, and here's the thing. I remember seeing it, and my first reaction was, "This is a bad look," right? And then you see everybody in the comments, oh, he's just trolling. Oh, he's just trying to get y'all upset. Y'all don't even understand. This is a promotional tactic to get you to watch. And it's like, bro, this is the same shit that we started doing with Elon Musk. You know what I mean? Like, here comes Elon to save Twitter, right? And then it just like got crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to compare the same thing. I'm not saying, oh, it's gotten crazy, whatever was with Turkey, but there is this element there where he's starting to push the envelope, in a way that's, I don't know if he's intending to just shock value type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, whatever will get the buzz going, whatever will get the news flowing, he will say it so that we can get it. And by the way, whose playbook is that? Dana White and Vince McMahon, the two guys that Turkey basically learned from before he got here.
Yeah, who was there today? Was it Khan, the head of the WWE? Yep. He was at the press conference. I have to say, they did, I think, combining that UFC event. There's a UFC event tomorrow. I know that they had a fan-friendly event I think at the Las Vegas Convention Center today. And it just kind of tied into the press conference. So they had in it like, yeah, basically, it was a great day to be a combat sports fan here in Las Vegas, and I was stuck at home in the heat.
Man, that's
so losing my boy Art. I just wanted to ask the people in the chat. I know that there's probably a lot more UFC fans, and I know that you cover it as well, Mario. But if people want to put a perfect parlay tomorrow and help me out with a good bet,
what you got, bro? Oh, you're looking for it. Oh, okay, okay.
I'm looking for a parlay. Hook me up. I could go place that bet tomorrow morning.
You trying to do a hybrid bet?
Well, I don't even know who. I saw a little bit of who's fighting tomorrow, but if people in the chat want to engage and let us know who their picks are, let us know.
Bro, if you would have asked me that question like 5 days ago, I would be screaming to pour at you. But the amount of experts online on Twitter and Reddit and everywhere are so convinced, and I hate being fucking like having my first instinct manipulated. I fucking hate it. But hearing the words like, you're going to bet against the legend, and it's like, shut the fuck up about that. Like, I don't know. I still would pick Taporia, gun to my head, but I don't know. It's hard to count out the legend. Let me ask y'all one real quick question. Okay. If I could snap my finger, I'm a boxing genie. Y'all just got me out the Dr. Pepper bottle. And I said, I can snap my fingers and the whole world will wake up tomorrow, forget the Crawford fight, and Billy will be in that fight, in that position in September. Would that be a better fight for you? Would that be a more interesting fight to y'all? Or is the circus that's attached with Canelo Crawford worth it?
You want to go first, Drew?
I look at it. Billy's not really, like, to the casuals, a huge name.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Crawford is, but everybody wants to fight. If anybody want to see a fight with Canelo Alvarez, the main fight was David Benavidez. Then now you bring Terence Crawford into the occasion. They know Crawford, they don't know Billy. The casuals just say, yo, I don't know who the hell this dude is. This dude is. So they're gonna say Crawford and everything, but they're gonna bring up that name, Benavidez. He should be fighting Benavidez. But I look at it that we should be seeing a lot of these guys, these top guys at super middleweight, fight each other. Like, that should be the goal of these guys that are close to a title shot, that are ranked in like the top 5 in the division. Get rid of your competition. So when it's time to fight Canelo or fight for those belts, you automatically have a clear path to those titles. and like Bruno Sacchi or whatever, the French guy that knocked out Jaime Munguia. I forget. I said to Dave, and I said on the shoe shine, I think of him as the second best super middleweight right now. In my opinion, I think he's the second best fighter in that division. I will favor him against Christian and Billy. I will favor him against Diego Pacheco. I will favor him against Caleb Plant.
Wow. That's a lot. That's a hot, very, very high on him.
I really think this dude has an orthodox boxing style that can cause a lot of problems. And he can nail a shot from out of nowhere. He knocked out a guy that had an iron chin like Jaime Munguia. He knocked him out.
That's true.
True.
Canelo didn't do that. Going back to your question, Mario, the one if you could automatically put Christian and Billy in for the fight against September, it would not sell at Allegiant Stadium. You know, it's kind of fight that would probably sell out T-Mobile Arena, but the stadium, like the first stadium event, no. Like there's just Terrence Crawford has been on the big stage. His accolades speak for themselves. 2-time undisputed champion, 2 division undisputed. And the fact that Canelo was able to fight Skull, which was easy to make. I mean, who doesn't want that Canelo payday? Skull, because he's like, you want your IBF title back? Just pay me for it, bro. I'll dance around the ring, right? That fight was trash. But now we got the opportunity where Terrence Crawford could get into, the people's imaginations to say, wow, this American fighter has the potential to be the first in the 4-belt era to become undisputed in 3 divisions. And even if he doesn't do it, just the idea that they can really market this fight for the next 2 months, this American fighter could be the first person to do it against the biggest face of Mexican boxing potentially ever. It's a great storyline. It should sell itself. I anticipate maybe they are going to get close to 60,000 tickets sold.
Oof. Oh my God, dude. And here's the thing. I couldn't have put it any better. First of all, brilliantly put. You're absolutely right. Like David Benavidez is the easy answer, right? Because what he represents both what Mbili and Crawford bring to the table, right? Mbili brings legitimacy at the division, right? And Crawford brings the commercial appeal. Boom, David Benavidez. But if you had to pick between the two, right? You're saying, okay, you want the tough upstart in Mbili, who he looks the goods, everything has checked the boxes so far, but he has certainly not earned a shot to be in the ring with Canelo. At the same time, Crawford, who does deserve a big shot, who does deserve a big chance, is not the top test at 168 that a lot of people feel that Canelo's continued to dodge. It's not just Benavidez. There are other names there, and so I don't think there is anything wrong with giving Crawford a chance to go for greatness. If Crawford wins this, I mean, God help us, Drew may be right that everybody's going to scream the fix is in. But if he could do it, man, what a story for boxing, dude. What a fucking story. That would go right up there with Muhammad Ali's rope-a-dope. That would go right up there with George Foreman knocking down Frazier. In the pantheon of all-time greatest wins on the biggest stage. And that's boxing in a nutshell right there. Just a heads up, Dion Nicholson is entering the ring. That fight is next. It's the co-main event before Wilder. I just want to say this because I want to always be transparent with my audience. I was a publicist for Dion Nicholson about 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago. So I do not work for him anymore. There's absolutely zero tie between me and the team. But I like to say the things out loud just because, I don't know, why hide it? You know what I mean?
So I don't know how I'm going to get my money back from BLK Prime. I saw
a few people I got to get mine too.
Shit, it's not working. I'm watching this right now. It says
it's a shame. It's a shame. I'm the only smart one here.
I'm watching it
you
on
went
Twitter.
With PPV?
Nah, I actually went on to a site. I don't give a fuck either. Like, let's look at dude, to this point, I'm gonna be honest. One more thing. I am still 50-50 on Terrence Crawford and Canelo. I'm thinking about right now. I am picking Canelo, but I might change it to Crawford.
Oh,
Yeah, Drew,
gotcha. I
I'm
thought
in
you
the
were
same.
saying, my bad. I thought you said you had it 50-50 right now. I was like, whoa.
Well, I do like Crawford took on some great sparring partners.
Yes.
Lester Martinez. I think this guy is, most people don't know about Lester Martinez, Guatemalan super middleweight, incredible athlete. He's been on Pro Box. Every performance on Pro Box has been phenomenal. And I know that that's a key sparring partner for Terrence Crawford in preparation for this fight. In fact, even if something is to happen to Terrence Crawford between now and September, Lester Martinez is the contractual backup fighter. So I'd love to go back to Drew's point about Surachi and Christian and Billy, these great fighters at 168. Most of them are really, truly untested. And you saw Berlanga after fighting Canelo, he took a very easy touch. He fought a guy who was locked up in prison for 10 years and his midsection looked almost as bad as me in my mid 40s, you know, like that wasn't a real threat. Like that. Come on, bro. That was a true stay busy fight. And a lot of these fighters, Christian and Billy, yeah, he fought Suleki. Suleki could give people trouble, but he's also way past his prime and whatnot. Yep. So what do I take away from that one round performance today? I'd love to see Christian and Billy against Edgar Berlanga or Caleb Plant or Jaime Munguia when he's done with the suspension, you know. Like Drew said, they can't sit around and wait. And David Benavidez is a perfect example of that. He did not sit around and wait. Neither did David Morrell. They went up and wait. That's what I want to see these guys do. If they're, you know, eventually Canelo's, you know, if he does beat Terrence Crawford, eventually he can't not defend all those titles. And I would foresee the IBF or somebody else stripping him again, saying, hey, man, you got to fight this guy. And if you don't, we're taking that particular title away from you. So there is a path going forward. But I just don't see some of these dangerous opponents getting a crack at Canelo in these in this deal with Turkey. What about you, Drew?
Wow, the fight's on now.
Yeah, I just saw that. It was the Dion Nicholson. The shirts were all around the ring, and then all of a sudden they went to this. So I don't know. Maybe I was behind.
I don't know. To your point, to today's thing, to his question, I think Edgar Berlanga is going to be out of the picture. I think Hanzo Suarez is going to destroy him and knock him out brutally.
Yeah, that's coming up. That's actually okay to give Edgar Berlanga credit. He did take that tough test.
Yeah,
that's Turkey Alachik is presenting him next month. I like that. I'll say there's another dangerous fighter at 160 that I don't know why he's still at 160, but if you guys have you seen the Kazaki fighter? The Kazaki fighter next to Terrence Crawford. What's his name, Drew? Why did I forget his name? The 160-pound champion.
What, Janibek?
Janibek is massive. He's massive. He had some pictures taken with Terrence Crawford. He dwarfs Terrence Crawford. This guy should be a super middleweight. He dwarfs these. He should be a super middleweight.
I think that's another guy that's untested, in my opinion. I think the lack of competition that he's gotten, he's still unproven to me. He has looked bad in some fights, and he has looked spectacular, but he's just in a terrible division. So it doesn't you can credit that too. When he moves up to 168, will he step up to fight the Billies and all of them? We don't know. I'm surprised he wasn't able to unify at 160. Though that's the biggest takeaway from that. He has not unified. It doesn't even look like he's tried to unify.
Yeah, 160 has been a leapfrog or like a leap pad. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these guys, I mean, they jump up because listen, you want to be around the Canelo weight. You know, you want to be an option for him. You want to, you know, be ready for any call at any given moment. But Wilder is walking to the ring, just a heads up. But listen, I want to ask y'all real quick though. And I saw some of y'all, I know some of your takes in the past, but what did y'all think about what Canelo said about Crawford's record and questioning his elites? Do you think that was cap from Canelo using internet narratives to stir up business, or was that a legitimate shot because that's what he legitimately believes.
I look at it. To me, I think Crawford's best wins are the Spence, Porter, and Gamboa fight, because Gamboa is actually at the top of that division when he beat him for the title and stopped him.
Good call.
That was the start of Gamboa's downfall. But other than that, it's very questionable about it. I think the thing that ruined Terence Crawford's career somewhat, that Bob would not give him that Pacquiao fight. I think that would have made his career right there earlier than the Spence fight. But Canelo, he's doing a lot of things different than in the past with fighters. He's being more like upfront with people's records and everything. Like he's trying to get under Terence Crawford's skin, and you're not used to seeing Canelo try to get under somebody's skin.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. That was the weird part about it, was like, oh shit, Canelo's, trying to finesse, like, or is he just like being totally fucking open and honest? And it's kind of crazy when you think back to the fact that he didn't want to fight Crawford, and he said at the time, oh, well, there's nothing to gain, you know what I'm saying? But SHOESHINE, what do you think as the Bronze Bomber makes his way through the fans? Was that cap from him? And what do you think about Crawford's elite resume?
Yeah, that's a really great topic that we didn't bother to touch on this week on our show, The SHOESHINE. By the way, if you guys are trying to watch it along, it's on Twitter, guys. Just put the hashtag Wilder or whatnot. I'm just going to say it's working on Twitter somewhat. There's some links there, and I actually paid for this I paid for the pay-per-view, and it's just spinning.
Yeah, dude. BLK.
I'm on BLK's website. It's just spinning.
So. It was awful, dude. Awful. I ended up having to go through ppv.com. Listen, before we get into this fight, by the way, shout out Zab Judah in the background of Armado. But what do you think about that conversation that took place?
Well, I see Carlos's comment there.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I think it was twofold. You can look at Terence Crawford's resume and his time spent with Top Rank and how they developed him, and certain questionable opponents like Gamboa, David Avanesian. Like he didn't particularly fight the toughest guys at the moment in whatever division he was in. So I think there's some merit that Canelo has in his argument. Even at welterweight, the strongest opponent he ever faced was maybe on the back nine Errol Spence. So there is a strong argument that his resume, much like Floyd Mayweather fought guys past their prime or at the right exact moment. I could see an argument for Terence Crawford has fought guys, perfect example, Gamboa, that, gave him an opportunity to shine and win all these titles and accolades. But when I really think about Terence Crawford, he's absolutely one of the most gifted fighters of this generation. Even if he didn't get the toughest opponents during his time with Top Rank, he's still, I think you would have put him in there with guys at his prime and he would have performed admirably and won those fights.
Well said. Listen, right before, just to finish off with this. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Drew. Or was that you?
That was me, Mario. I think twofold. I think it's really good on the part of Canelo to get inside Terence Crawford's head to start doubting himself.
Agreed. This is the most confident fighter I think that Canelo's ever come across since Floyd Mayweather, and that stands for something. That means something. Listen, right before we get into this, and a beautiful rendition is what I'm seeing from fans or from the chat saying that it was a good job. So I didn't hear it, but whatever. The point that I want to make real quick is this, right? For all the talk about who was elite, right, on his resume, what has to be understood is that Crawford performed elite. Nobody would ever question whether Golovkin is more or less elite than Victor Postal. Nobody would ever question that, especially in the first fight. Okay. But there's also no question that when you look at those two fights, one of them performed as the elite fighter in the ring. You see, it's about passing the assignment, right? Because you can't fight elite fighters every time. You can't fight the best. No boxer fights the best every single fight. So what it is about is passing the test. See, tonight in Billy, he passed the test with an A because he got him out quick and he did it in amazing fashion. So that's an A+. If you would have taken him the distance in a boring ass fight, a win's a win is a win, but it isn't the same type of performance. The best in the world, they do things that make them look like the best in the world. LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods in his prime. These people were great. And you could see it whether you were watching live or on the fucking 10 o'clock news. And all I'm saying is that Crawford has given us more of those moments in fights where the guys were tough enough to have made it the distance, or the guys are tough enough to withstand, 80 or 90% of the power in the division. But here came Crawford and he was a fucking wrecking horse. So, or wrecking ball, my bad. Dude, I forgot that Tyrell Herndon was 37 years old. Jeez.
Okay. 6'3", 218
pounds.
Oh
shit. I forgot Wilder went back to the part.
Wow. Wilder's Wilder weighs 225. He hasn't weighed 225 in a while.
225.4.
Yeah, this is the second highest since the Fury fight when he weighed at 231, I believe.
Dude, he is looking pretty jacked though. His fucking shoulders and traps, his chest, bro. Even his ab muscles are fucking thick as shit, bro. He's looking like a bodybuilder in transition, like a fitness guy, not bodybuilder, the fitness people.
39 years old. Okay. Bomb Squad. I see the chat on Twitter. Bomb Squad in the house.
I tell you guys this. I think Deontay Wilder would have got exposed a long time ago if he would have still fought Povetkin in Russia.
Povetkin had his day.
I actually betted on. I betted on that fight. I got my money back. I was betting on Povetkin for stoppage in that fight.
Yo, Povetkin was very underrated, I think.
Yeah, but the era he was in.
Yes.
But I
that's
think
a good point too.
When it went to, it was end of Klitschko, post Klitschko era. If Klitschko would have still been there, he had no chance of winning a title. He did win the WBA title, but that was on a technicality. But other than that, it was the two Klitschkos, and really the second best fighter to the Klitschkos was David Haye.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yo, how is it? Is it Herndon or Herndon? Herndon? I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, asking the wrong person. I just remembered now that you brought that up. David Haye versus Deontay Wilder sparring tapes.
Oh, I forgot about those. Yeah, me too. When he said it, I was like, oh shit. That's a name you forget about. You know what I mean? Because David Haye became such a meme. You know what I mean? That it's like people forget he was a legit fucking non-heavyweight.
Yeah, he paved the way for cruiserweights.
You see, this is what
before Usyk. So we got round one underway now.
Hell yeah.
I'm liking how Wilder's doubling the jab. He's finally, for once, using his jab.
And who trained him for this fight?
Shit. I just read an article on that too, because he did that whole thank you speech to what's his name? Malik Scott. Yeah. It seems like they're perfectly fine, but God, I forgot. Anybody in the chat know who trained Wilder? So
JD Saint is still the second trainer.
I saw him there, but I mean, not here, not. I didn't see him on the broadcast, but I mean, I saw him on there with Wilder in pictures and social media. Yo, Wilder is actually throwing a jab like
he's doubling it.
Yeah, he's doubling. He's like throwing an active jab. It's not something that he's just trying to muscle through, or how when he would hit somebody and put them in place, to catch and go.
Well,
I always love that long stabbing jab that he threw, by the way.
Yeah, I realize he's 39 years old now. He's gonna have to pace himself, and at the same time, show that he's willing to try to score points.
That's a
Because,
good point.
like,
He's
the
not,
first
because if
thing,
he wants that AJ fight, it ain't gonna be a knockout like that. Good point.
yeah, he's gonna
Hell
have to
yeah.
set up. He's gonna have to set up his that right with the jabs now.
Yeah, he just threw that right hand and it missed. It didn't look too good. He just threw another right there, but he is trying to set up that big right hand.
Big
he's
right
known
hand,
for.
yeah. He threw it hard. I mean, it was like you said, it wasn't, you know, well timed or well placed, but he's letting it go. I thought he tried to get rounds in, like Drew insinuated. I think that's a smarter move, especially if AJ is what you want next.
Yeah, that's true. By the way, speaking of the Mbili fight, I was telling Drew, texting him, like, because you remember that fighter Makhmudov? He fought on the Christian Mbili fight. He knocked out that dude with an impressive right hand. That was a great knockout.
Not tonight. Sandy, right? Oh, Tim. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the Sandy fight.
Oh no, the heavyweight Makhmudov. Who?
Yeah. I didn't get to see it. I saw him come out, but I didn't get to see it.
He sparked that dude out in one round.
A very
big, heavy right hand.
Round one, by the way, but I would give it to Wilder. He's the only one that did anything.
Yeah, that dude's just trying to stay away from him.
Yeah,
trying to get him in deep waters. Like,
who had the better? I'll ask you guys. Who had the better trilogy? Wilder versus Tyson Fury or Canelo versus Gennady Golovkin?
Good question.
I'm gonna go with the Wilder Fury thing because I think there was more of a back and forth battle. Like that third fight was actually one of the best heavyweight fights in the past 15 years because they were both knocking each other down and the way it ended and everything. That's that was an all-out heavyweight fight that people love. Like, and Golovkin really, in the third fight, it was terrible. It was one-sided. It looked like that was the downfall. It was the end for him.
Agreed. How about you, Mario? If you had to pick, which better trilogy?
Dude, I was hearing him talk and say that, but I got to go Wilder Fury too. I think that there was more not action, but more like he said, back and forth. I mean, look, Canelo Golovkin was great, but by that third fight, you know, he's right. Golovkin was washed, but Wilder always possessed that singularity. You know what I mean? He still does, I think. You know, power is one of the last things to go. People always say, especially with heavyweights.
And you also got to look at the timetable of each of those fights. How many years later was that third fight from the second fight?
Great point.
Of Canelo Golovkin. It's just, I think it was 5 years too late for that third fight to happen.
Yes. Well said. Oof. Yeah. Tyrell leaving that head out. I know it's Wilder's jab, but, you know, at this level, you can't give him that free of a look.
He's trying to stay. He's just trying to survive for some reason.
Bro, I think Wilder's thrown that right hand like twice.
Yeah.
It is jab, jab, jab. Ooh, that was nice. That was a nice stepping jab.
Then he goes in for that right.
Yo, Tyrell keeps putting his head. He keeps putting his head right in the line of that punch.
Yeah. He's eating jabs.
Bad. Yo, I thought for a while Wilder would came out with the Dusty Rhodes throwback with the yellow polka dots, but nah, chill, champ.
This is what if you guys see this, like you probably not seen, or you probably not seen what I've seen. He could have easily nailed that right hook behind a jab. He's open for that, he's open for a right hook.
Yeah, for sure. I don't. Have you ever seen Wilder throw that combination? I'm sure he has, but I don't. Oh, big left hands traded from both Wilder and Herndon, whatever. Yo, and Wilder scores the knockdown in round 2 with 15 seconds left. The fight resumes. Yo, that was crazy.
He's calling it a slip. The fighters, Herndon, saying it's a slip. No, was that a left hook?
Nah, he got
that was
hit
a
with
left
punch.
hook, right?
Yeah.
They exchanged left hooks. And Wilder's always going to win that battle. All right, we're going to get a look at the first knockdown Wilder has scored in, what was it, 4 years? Somebody said it early on Twitter. I forgot.
It was a long time.
Yeah, that was a nice shot. Anybody know if Terrence Crawford, if there's a rematch clause for Crawford Canelo?
Good question.
Because I mean, I'm 50-50, and I'm starting to wrap my mind around the possibility of Terrence Crawford pulling off the upset. And if he does, I mean, it just makes perfect sense to immediately run it back for Cinco de Mayo.
100%.
Maybe somewhere else, maybe a different location, maybe this time in Texas.
Hell yeah. Yo, if Canelo loses and then they run it back right away, and then the narrative he uses is like, I'm not a pussy like De La Hoya who fucking ran from Floyd when he whooped his ass, bro. I just want them. It would be the dumbest thing in the world, but I just want them to get into it one day.
Yeah, it could be the perfect scenario for another trilogy in the legacy of Canelo.
Absolutely.
Run it back. Canelo wins the second one. They go for one more at 30. Wow, how old are they? Bud would be close to 40 if they did a trilogy.
Yep.
Bud Bud said he's done after this fight.
What? For real?
There was a rumor going around saying that Bud said he's retiring after this fight.
Ooh, they just traded jabs. Wilder kind of
pushed him back. I don't know how true that is, but I would believe it if he said
I hope that's not true. If he wins, especially. If he loses, you know what? Honestly, if he wants to call it. But, Dan, you beat Canelo, and then you just ride off into the sunset? Like,
yeah, you can't do that.
Bro, come on. Give us boots.
You know they got unlimited funds. The Saudis have unlimited funds.
That's true. Nah, Crawford,
he'll get that.
They got to make a tournament to fight Crawford after that. 4-man fight. The winner.
I can't see Crawford going back down to 154. I think he'll probably go down to maybe 160 and campaign there.
I don't even know. You think so? I still think he could make 154. But like you said, I mean, when you go up that high, it's always a very calculated risk to come back down. The body is a very weird thing when you gain weight and lose weight like that.
It's a huge risk for his age.
Hell yeah, especially for his age. Thank you for reminding that. Yo, Terrell's actually kind of like moving his head a little better now. Yo, y'all see Wilder throw that big ass right hand that looped? Oh, he's had a couple.
He's had a couple that missed, and I can't help but think that they sap away a lot of energy.
And I was looking for him, and I was looking for him the uppercut. Like he's making himself open for it a little bit that he can get a sneaky uppercut in.
He landed it. I mean, not solid, but he landed it. I think you're right. He should utilize it.
Yeah, especially Herndon. He's doing a little bit better, but like you said, his head is stationary, and he's got his hands way low.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's not. He's head hunting the whole time too.
Here's the thing, though. I feel like Wilder hasn't really turned the gas on. So I'm wondering, Drew, if you were right earlier in the approach of Wilder getting rounds in, possibly. Because I don't know, man. I'm seeing what y'all are seeing. This guy's head's, he was staying stationary, hands down. Wilder continues to just miss that big right hand like that. I don't know, man. Maybe he's getting rounds in. I just feel like Tyrell's not giving him anything back at all.
He used to bat a little fast, so I saw a break.
Hell yeah. I think Wilder, now they're resting a little bit. Wilder got him in a guillotine.
Yeah, if he turns up the gas, I think he can get him out of there much sooner.
So do I.
But like you said, he's got a lot of ring rust of his own, and he could be trying to go some rounds.
Hell yeah. Hey, yo, and just a heads up, I want to announce SHOESHINE's coming to kick it with me on Monday for the podcast on the live stream. Infighting FX on YouTube, Twitch, IG, X, Facebook, everything. And so, SHOESHINE, my man's coming through.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll
Monday.
be there.
Hell yeah. I got some good segments planned. Yo, cheers to Daniel Barry Sports. Yo, champ says cheers, everyone. Cheers right back to you, champ. Yo, Wilder trying to run back time and get that long desired AJ fight, but he's got to get through Tyrell first. And yeah, we're in the 4th round. It begins. Just like the last one in, Wilder stalking with the jab. Let that right hand go. See, look at that. Ooh, there's that hook that Drew was asking for. Drew back. Yeah, there he is. Yo, that he threw that hook you were waiting for.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's not that Wilder isn't showing like different things, but it's like, man, you're doing it against a guy who's mostly been a punching bag or just a non-punching bag. Tyrell pop with the jab. There's another right hand from Wilder. Very, very out of range for that. That was a big problem too with Wilder towards the exit of his prime, is the unleashing of that right hand from places that he had no business trying to snipe. And, you know, SHOESHINE brought it up earlier that what kind of energy does it sap from a guy with shoulders that huge, biceps that big? You know, as impressive as it looks, that weight, it takes its toll. It's like you're doing like 100 arm raises without weight. Like,
yeah, the more muscular you are, the more likely your muscles burn the lactic acid quicker.
Yeah, that lactic acid kicks in, bro, and it's fuck.
Yeah, speaking of right hands, I'm curious if Jake Paul's gonna land his patented right hand tomorrow night. How people feel?
Yeah.
He's gonna land that right hand tomorrow night,
bro. That's what I booked earlier. As we have a minute left in round 4, I will say that my official booking is that Chavez does initially come forward and try to utilize a Mexican style to a degree, and then just gasses out and eventually comes in too lazy, hands down, or, legs, nothing but noodles, and he falls right into the Jake Paul hook. I don't know if Nate face plants. I'm not saying that, but who knows, bro? He was in rehab last year, right? And I'm not saying that people can't come back from things, right? I think everyone can. I think anyone can, has the power to break cycles like that. But to ask yourself to come back and be at the highest profession, highest level. Oh, Wilder's landing some big lefts and rights now. That's too much to ask.
He's getting ready to quit.
Yeah, he is. Guy's on fumes. Oh, he's running away from Wilder.
He's getting ready to quit.
Oh, round's over.
Hey, shout out to my boy Sonteo Media in the chat.
Yeah, hell yeah. I seen him. Sonteo Media, bro. Champ.
He had some great videos of the Junior Olympics, National Junior Olympics here in Las Vegas.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. I saw a couple of kids. There was one kid from LA. If you want to drop that kid from LA that won his division, that kid looks pretty impressive. I don't remember his name, but I'll be keeping it. He was tall and lanky. Future stars of boxing right there.
Yeah, for sure. Yo, Wiley Coyote says that hates to admit it, but Paul came in shape too. Yeah, bro, I agree, but I don't know what that thing was where he just shouted out. I know that it was something a bowler has said. It was like a famous bowler quote. But he seemed really emotional. And as far as I know, I don't think anybody was questioning whether he'd make weight. And yet he reacted like it was a huge victory. I wonder how hard that camp was. I wonder how easy it is these days for him to cut weight.
I don't know. Here comes right hand. Here comes he's landed 2 right hands.
Now he's starting to go for it.
Yeah, he's setting him up for that right hand.
Yeah, there it is. Yep. I think I'm like 8 seconds behind y'all. Oh shit, he caught Tyrell with something. Yo, he's dead exhausted. Oh.
I feel we're waiting for that big punch.
I know. So I know
that hook got around the guard on his ear.
It does feel like Wilder is managing his output a little bit right now, maybe saving up for like a charge. Ooh, I thought that left hand got through. It's funny because that one hook he threw, I mean, it was perfect. Ooh, a nice uppercut, nice long range uppercut from Wilder. That was like a little bit reminding me, giving me vibes of Vladimir Klitschko. Oh, a big right hand. Tyrell barely escapes twice. Just gets his head out of the line of sight for Wilder's big right hand. Yo, Wilder's muscular as shit, bro. It's crazy. And if you're just joining us, Drew reminded us earlier, this is the heaviest he's weighed since the Fury fight. Bronze bombs. Yo, this is the 1-2-1-2 machine right there. But it's the only weapon you need. It was like the Daniel Dubois and oh shit, who did he fight that time when he just like utilized the jab the whole time? The Juggernaut. You know what I mean? Like that was yeah, Joe Joyce. That was an incredible performance. I mean, maybe not the most fan friendly. Wilder though, I feel like he's getting gassed.
Yeah, they're both clinching now.
It's a shame. The Ross aging still beats Wilder by knockout. Oh! Wilder gets hit with a nice right.
Yo, when your first instinct is to back up so you could hold your breath and do what the fuck? Did y'all see that? Yo, he just like
hit Wilder.
Judo rolled. That was crazy, bro. Yo, how do you have you look dead tired and you have the energy to parkour out of Wilder's fucking range? Yo, that was nuts. I hope they show that replay.
That was 2 punches he nailed Wilder with.
Oh, I like that long range uppercut. It didn't land like I thought it did, but yep.
To Drew's point earlier tonight, Drew was talking about coming back down in weight and whatnot. You get just a moment ago, you guys were talking about that. Jake Paul is coming down 30 some pounds back to under a 200-pound limit. That's a lot of weight to cut.
But yeah, look at it. If you look at it, cruiserweights do it all the time. They make 200s. Like they're at least 220, 225 to make weight at camp. So he's gonna have to learn to do that weight cut. He probably walks around at like 240.
Wow, that's a lot. I've seen pictures of Jake Paul when he was younger. That he was nowhere near 240. That's a lot of weight to cut. But I also noticed that Tevin Farmer came in when they were on the scales earlier this morning.
Yeah. Ooh, nice left hand to the body from Wilder. Yeah, dude. But he made it though. So
okay, he made the second go, right? It wasn't much. A slip. All right. It was like what, half a pound, 0.4?
It was, 0.4. Uh-huh.
But Jake Paul, when he got on the scale, he was tripping. He had made a big comment. He goes, that scale is off. He goes, there's something wrong with that scale.
Yes, I noticed that. I don't remember who I talked to about it, but they were saying that it was an odd thing. And especially when he touched the scale and was like, oh, let's get the wire out. It was, I don't know. It was weird.
Now, this might be I thought he was going to get ready to stop.
He got him in the corner now.
Yeah.
But I'm behind y'all. My bad.
He's up the ropes now. But now he's at the corner again.
What was that?
I think the ref is going to have to start warning this dude to just get the hell up.
Oh, my God. What is he doing, bro?
What the hell is this dude doing? Trying to
Bro, Carlos, you are very, very smart for not paying for this.
Thank God I didn't pay for it.
And I paid for it twice. So I'm a very, very dumb person by comparison. Oh shit. Big overhand rights from Wilder. I hate when he does that thing where
that
he,
right,
like,
2 right hands.
Oh,
is it?
Well, that barely
down.
landed.
I'm waiting. Ooh, big right hand.
All right, they're gonna stop.
Big miss.
They might.
Is he down?
It's over.
It's a knockdown.
Oh, because he's leaning on the rope. Bro, he's just sitting. Look at him. He's just sitting. Yeah, you could wave it off.
Oh, he took the 9 count.
No, he's not. Oh, my God. Why?
He sat on the ropes.
9 count.
He was sitting on the ropes. Yo, okay,
right
Wilder
hand,
got to finish him right here. 30 seconds, bro. This is it. All right. This is it. This is your game 7. Oh, shit. He caught him with the left. Yo, this kid's just hanging onto his arm so he has one less to beat him with. That's exactly what's going on. He's trying to grab arm of Wilder so that he has one less to. Oh shit! Now he's hitting him with those uppercuts.
Nice.
Oh, and a big right hand. That looked like it hurt. Yo, shout out to Tyrell, bro. He hasn't even gone down.
What the fuck?
What is going? Oh shit! He just got launched.
Hold on. Is he calling it a knockdown? I was about to say he better not call that. That wasn't a knockdown.
And the bell, saved by the bell.
Oh,
Carlos, it's on Twitter. Type the hashtag. Type the hashtag for it, and you should be able to find it on Twitter.
If you want to see how far that Deontay Wilder has fallen, he went from fighting on $85 pay-per-views to $7 pay-per-views.
It's not even working, dog. I paid for this.
I know. It was just going like this the whole time. The whole time. It would play for 5 minutes and then doop, and I'd have to reset.
He went from a Maserati car dealership to a 99-cent and up store.
Hey, he called me a fat Mexican, so no love lost there. Make fun of him all you want.
God damn.
Yeah.
Carlos's comment in the chat.
I technically was pretty big, so
you lost a lot of weight. Was it?
Yeah,
was it
I did.
Preparation for the fight.
Partly that, and then once I was done with Border Wars, I stopped powerlifting, and that's when it started to kind of melt off.
Thank you, Wiley. It's also he's got a window open. It's on YouTube.
You know what?
I paid $6.
Champ, yo, this is the best community, bro. All right, we in round 7 of 10.
You know
it can't go much longer.
You should have said thank you to him to piss him off more.
There's that right hand again.
Yeah, me and Ness weren't on speaking terms at that point, so I was just like, fuck all of them, bro. But now they ain't on speaking terms anymore as well.
Who?
Him and Wilder. The last time I think they texted, Wilder said that there were people that he can't control that would clap me and Ness. Yeah, it was crazy. Ness sent me the text. I was like, a screenshot of it. I was like, dude, did Wilder just say he's gonna have somebody shoot me? It was crazy.
That's funny. Not funny that either. Somebody.
Hey, I was working for 3 different websites at that time. I could have easily wrote that shit up, right? But I'm not a piece of shit. I have I've never had any issue with them. He has an issue with me because of what I used to say with AJ. Oh shit, he just landed that hard left, bro. Yo, it's so crazy to me that Tyrell looks like he is. Oh, he just took a knee, bro.
Another slip.
Yo, he took a knee though. That was a knee, wasn't it?
That's a knee. Come on.
That was a knee. Why aren't you counting? That was a knee. Dude, this is the same thing that happened with Tank. What the fuck are referees not realizing when a guy takes a knee, he doesn't have to be hurt. Oh, and then a big, long left hand.
I'm sorry. This is a fucking bad ref job.
Dude, this is a bad
It's usually pretty good
job. Yeah.
So he's making Wilder work for it.
Yeah,
yo, he is, bro.
At least we know this dude hasn't won a round. So this can't jeopardize.
Oh, no
that.
way. Is Wilder holding his left hand like it's hurt? What is he doing?
I think so. He might have heard his
He's
hand.
throwing it though. He just hit him. He said it's enough.
Yeah.
Oh,
big time.
No, come on. That's a bad stoppage.
No. Yeah, there you go.
That's a bad stoppage.
You think so? Well, he didn't call the right knockdown, Drew. He just missed the knockdown a minute ago.
Drew said that's a bad stoppage, bro. We want to see that man's head.
That's the fucking granny back though. Like, what the fuck?
Or this ain't a Wilder fight.
I was like, okay, I've seen enough. Like, he's like this. Oh, fuck it. I've seen enough. I don't want to see it no more.
Nah, bro. Listen, he ain't thrown nothing back, Drew. I'm sorry, but he wasn't winning that fight at all. There was like no reason competitively for him to be in. And by the way, the worst part was he wasn't going down, right? The best thing that happens is you get knocked down and you don't have to take any more punishment. But when you are the kind of tough that stays up when you are knocked down, it's the worst. Repeated blows while you're not protecting yourself.
I'm going to say this. They wanted to get this dude a knockout so bad to get his confidence up. Say, oh, I want AJ, and have the most fucked up Ross AJ knock this dude out. That's what's going to happen. A washed up AJ beats this Wilder any day of the week.
Yeah, you're picking it right now?
I'm telling you this right now. A washed up AJ knocks out this Deontay Wilder inside 5 rounds.
Inside 5, bro. Y'all just heard it. Drew said it.
He may not last 3 rounds against a washed up AJ.
Damn, champ.
Like, look at how he fought tonight.
No, it was bad, dude. Here's the thing.
Punching bag.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it's not that he didn't dominate. It's not that he didn't win every round. It's that he had a guy who threw nothing back, who was there to be hit. He was there. Listen, they needed somebody that they knew Wilder could beat. Somebody that there was no way they were going to upset the apple cart. Because look what happened with Wilder. They were on the verge of one of the biggest fights of the year, even though neither of them were even close to the prime and narrative that they had years ago when we all desperately wanted this fight, right? And they priced themselves out, mostly Wilder. Now they could have still survived. They could have still made millions despite not being at that caliber anymore. And Wilder shit the bed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, we got to walk him across this finish line. We are going to literally drag him across this finish line so that we can make the AJ fight. That's what this was. That's what this was.
I look at it, Carlos, I'll be honest with you. I don't care if they're gonna not like it because I never heard of any of them. I barely heard of any of these motherfuckers you guys talk about. Like, this is how much I don't really watch other boxing content that much. So I never really heard of these guys that they bring up.
Not on the Reddit forums. Well, you know what? Your life is better for it. I can promise you
I
that.
know my life is better for it.
Uh-oh. All right, let's see what Wilder's saying. What the heck? Oh. He was struggling to say something good about Tyrell. No, you didn't call out AJ. What's up? You didn't at least say his name to set up the promotion?
Thank God nobody has epilepsy with those fucking.
No shit, bro. For real. That was crazy what they were doing, right? Yo. Yo, let's
What were they
find
doing?
out that
Strobe lights?
bad, like right in the front row. Hey, let's find out that one of the sponsors for this event is like a epilepsy medication and shit. They're just trying to fucking hike up sales.
Oh God, we're fucked up. I'm fucked up for saying it. But I am gonna. Someone say Andy Reid was destroy Waddle. I'm sorry, but I don't even. I can't be 100% confident in that either. Where the hell is Andy Ruiz be then?
Yeah, for real.
That's an interesting fantasy fight. Deontay versus Francis Ngannou.
I would absolutely say that. Yeah.
I think Ngannou's done with boxing. I'm sorry.
He almost beat Tyson Fury.
Drew, the way that Wilder was fighting tonight, they could probably fight MMA at this point. No, I'm playing. Oh, Drew's thinking about it. What you think? You think a Wilder and Ngannou MMA fight, Drew?
No, I don't think Wilder's legs are built for MMA.
Yeah.
I don't think his legs are built for MMA. Don't come with those socks on either.
Yeah.
Don't come in with the Dusty Rose theme. He's just a common man.
Yo, just the son of a plumber, baby. You know how it goes.
Let me tell you something, man. I run in kings and queens.
There it is. Hey, champ. There it is. Yo, I definitely feel like that was a missed opportunity, but at the same time, who's to say that they even make that fight? I don't know. Because AJ still could go places, right? Like AJ could still get fights just based on his legacy and what he brings to the table money-wise. You can't say the same thing of Wilder. Wilder needs AJ more than AJ needs Wilder. That's the absolute truth of it.
First of all, Deontay Wilder's wife is still hot. And if you look at it like this, like the British boxing scene, AJ still gives you that name and everything.
Yeah, that's an O2 arena fight. That is definitely an O2 arena fight.
That isn't a Wembley or O2 arena fight. You can even fill a stadium probably because it's AJ and Wilder. Even you might could because they buy anything. These British people, I'm sorry, they buy anything. They probably
Americans too, Drew. I think the Americans that were around during that time, which was a lot of them. Okay, they will be hooked into that narrative. I still believe that is a huge financial fight.
I don't think it sells in America though. If you look at it like this, I think with the streaming laws now around nowadays, the fights are not selling like they should be.
You're right.
And pay-per-view has become more of a dead zone. If you look at it, because you got your Fire Sticks, you got your stream sites, you got all of it. It's the laws in Great Britain or the UK, whatever you call it, are a lot stricter now when it comes to streaming fights. So
that's definitely true. Yo, listen, before we head out, I do want to get y'all's take on tomorrow night's fight, specifically first off the bat, the real fight of the night. Zurdo and Dorticos, who wins?
It is a real fight. And Dorticos is a tough guy. Zurdo Ramirez, man, I think I just really enjoy him as a cruiserweight. You know, that brief stop at light heavyweight, I think he finally found his calling, and it's cruiserweight. And it's not going to be an easy fight. Only 2 losses on Dorticos. I don't think really there are any easy fights for Zurdo in this division, with the exception of Jake Paul, which could materialize tomorrow night, right? We could see it. Zurdo has already said that he's open to fighting Jake Paul. They're most likely going to rank. They're going to rank him. If Jake Paul wins, they'll rank him within the top 15. And it could become a real reality. But this is actually a really good card, guys. Those of you listening right now, it starts off at 12 o'clock Pacific time on YouTube. And the very first fight, I've been watching Victor Morales of Golden Boy. He's kind of a fair-skinned Mexican kid. You know, he wears the cowboy outfit, but you would swear he's Canelo's cousin because he's so He looks Irish too, but he's going to be fighting a tough Rene Alvarado who's battle tested. That is going to be a hell of a good fight. That's going to start off the tone, and it's free on YouTube. On that undercard too, you got Vincent Avina from Stockton, California. Shout out to everybody in the 209 Stockton area. He's from Antigua, 8-1-1, fighting an undefeated guy named Alexander Guecci. I know what Vincent Avina is. I've seen some of his amateur stuff, and I've heard really good things from Lukey about him. So I'm very excited to see that. And then to end that preliminary card that's free on YouTube, the return of Holly Holm versus Yolanda Vega, a Mexican girl that's undefeated, and she's 5'8". That's gonna be, that should be pretty interesting. We're gonna find, there's a lot of fighters coming back after 40. And Deontay Wilder 39 today. Fighting. There's just a lot of fighters coming back. I'm very interested to see if Holly Holm can revive her boxing career. She's had a really long stint away from boxing. So just even that undercard, guys, it's fire. And then you got UFC. At the end of the night, we got UFC to watch. Floyd Schofield versus Tevin Farmer. Originally, we talked about it, Mario. I thought that a very good fight would have been MVP's fighter, Lucas Bari. That fight didn't materialize. Yeah, he's an MVP fighter, and they failed to negotiate that fight. But I think it's even a harder fight for him. Tevin Farmer, a former world champion. Yeah,
agreed.
That I'm going to just say I'm on the fence about it. I think Drew and I disagreed. I think it's right for Tevin Farmer to pull the victory out. But then again, he's been on the wrong end of how many close decisions in the past 5 fights, and those fights were tough. Those
and
fights
he's not
were
the
really
side
tough.
either.
Is it me? Is there enough of a fight on?
Yeah, Dion Nicholson. We were right. They didn't have it. I guess they skipped it for whatever reason and made it the dark match. I don't know, but they're showing it.
These motherfuckers.
That's cool. I'm glad. I wanted to watch him. I wanted to watch Dion Nicholson, but this is kind of weird.
Okay, we got another fight to cover.
Yeah, no shit.
I think I lost a fight though.
But you know what?
Oh, did you?
That Vega girl looks hot. I am going to say that. I saw the stare down today, and I'm like, wow. I'm like, I might pick her against Holly Holm.
Just off looks.
I saw a fight
she's
once.
Too banging to not be banging them out with the hand.
I saw a fight once, and she's pretty good. I think, and she's younger too. And I think we don't like Holly Holm was actually on the back nine in her MMA career.
Very true.
So I might really pick her as to win the fight. And Tevin Farmer's still a live dog. And Schofield looked really bad in the fight before against someone he should have easily have out there. So they're 2 upset picks right there. You could probably bet a good amount of money and make some money off of it. And if you guys do, you take that, make sure you thank me and maybe leave a tip.
There you go. Cash App is open. So wait. So you're not picking Schofield. You're picking Farmer, or you just saying that's live money?
No, I'm picking Farmer. I said that I was going to pick Farmer on the SHOESHINE. I'm picking Farmer to beat Schofield.
So y'all are picking Farmer. Wow, man.
This is Philly, baby. Philly.
Y'all are making this really fucking
hard. It's 50-50 for me. I don't know. I was at the Giron. I was at the Mexican guy Giron's fight.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
He made a big mistake there in the final rounds. He got caught with a shot, and I think he's very likely to get caught with a shot from Tevin Farmer. He's so experienced. The key to this fight for Floyd is to listen to his corner, because I saw his dad screaming at the top of his lungs to make these adjustments, and Floyd was like, man, he just took it to the streets, It's like, nah, I'm in a fight. I'm going to fight it the way I want to fight. I don't think he was really listening to his corner to make those adjustments. And against Tevin Farmer, it's going to be crucial he listens to his dad. You're going to have to listen. Exactly. He's going to listen to his dad, because when things get rough and things aren't working right and you need to make that adjustment against Tevin Farmer, you got to listen to your corner.
But you know what? Yeah. I think his dad's really messing up his career, and I think it's going to take a loss for him to realize
Wait. You mean that because of how outspoken he is, or do you don't think he has the chops to bring his son to the next level?
Both. I think he speaks.
I love Drew, bro.
I think he speaks too much out of place and everything. And I think he makes his son look a lot worse after that. Like that Shakur fight and everything.
You're absolutely right.
It made it look like he ducked the dude. And like the advice and everything, sometimes as your dad as your trainer is the best idea. Sometimes it's not. When it comes to like the Teofimo, I don't think his dad's the best trainer for him or has the best interest for his career.
Mm.
There's been a long list, Drew. There's been a long list. Ruben Guerrero.
Yeah, Robert Guerrero. I
had the pleasure to finally meet the guy. Finally got the pleasure to meet him after all these years wanting to meet him. I met him at the last fight.
That's what's up.
Shout out to him. But even Angel Garcia, there's been a long list of father-son relationships where it seemed like they couldn't do it, but then they did achieve great things with their fathers. So
I think the Angel and Danny Garcia relationship was great, and it worked too. Like he became a unified champion, multi-division champion. I met Angel Garcia on multiple times when I worked at Home Depot in Philly and talked to him about fights. I met Danny Garcia too at Home Depot. He introduced me to his son too a couple of times, and we chopped up. I met him the first time I met Danny.
What celebrity Home Depot do you work at, dude?
I don't work at Home Depot
Brad
anymore.
Pitt came in to fucking buy I don't know, fucking
here's the thing.
shower.
I also met Gabe Rosado at the Home Depot I used to work at.
Damn, dude, all the Philly fighters go to that one.
Why are fighters just hanging out at the Home Depot there?
Well,
Drew?
Here's the thing. Angel Garcia, you know how they invest, like the Garcias invested their money that they made in real estate and everything, barbershops and everything. So they go and buy stuff and they do the work themselves. Like
stop it, Drew. No, they don't.
No, buying lumber material and
wow, that's crazy, dude.
Like Gabe Rosado.
Shout out to them. Shout out to the Garcias. Fuck.
So
that's
Gabe
crazy.
Rosado, when I met him. This is like 2 months before he moved out to Hollywood. Gabe Rosado. And I'm going to be honest, Gabe Rosado is big as hell in person. And people will think he's like 5'7", like 5'6", 5'7". That dude is like 6 feet, right? And everything. And he was built like crazy. And I met him. I even met the dude's trainer after he got stopped by Triple G. The trainer was at Home Depot too, shopping, and the people were telling him good stoppage and everything.
No shit, that's crazy, dude.
But
next time I'm in your area, we're gonna have to go to the Home Depot and stake it out.
So Mario, just remind everybody on Monday. I'm gonna come on your channel Monday.
Around
what time?
You said 5. Or you said 4 Pacific time, right?
Yeah, we're gonna do 4 Pacific time. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna have SHOESHINE on Monday on Infighting FX. You can find that on YouTube, X, IG, Twitch. And we got a lot of topics in store. I got some segments planned, some fun did you know games and I'm also gonna have Emily, publicist of the Stars in boxing. Has worked with the Benavidez brothers from David to Jose and plenty of other fighters throughout the year. One of the best publicists in the game. We're going to talk to her. We're going to find out how hard is it to control the boxing media. No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke, obviously. Yo, how much did D-Style take to... No, I'm just kidding. D-Style, he would never. But Ness did take Eddie's money. No, I'm just kidding there too. I'm just kidding. That was a joke too.
No, I kind of want to hear this now. No,
I'm just kidding. I was working there at the time. I can confirm we never got no fucking matchroom checks.
She goes by Emily and the Sun? Is that?
Yes. Yeah. Emily.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. See, she's one of the first publicists that I got to work with when I started journalism or started covering boxing. I mean. And so our careers kind of mirrored each other, you know what I mean? And she was always a really cool person and knows a ton about the game. And, hey, maybe some people out there think, hey, I think I could be a publicist for a boxer. I'm on social media all the time. I know how to make like really cool, blah, blah, blah. Like maybe, and she's going to talk to us and maybe help everybody figure out how to become a publicist.
or not, or maybe, or not,
or
maybe,
not,
maybe,
or not. I mean, you don't have.
maybe
You
it's
don't, if
not
you watch the
Honestly,
show,
like-
you don't have to become a public.
like
Man,
like
I'm
Mario.
gonna tell you the real reason why
Yeah.
you guys got her on there. You guys are interviewing her for me to be my publicist because you guys told me I need to keep up with stuff better and everything. And
It
why not
is.
have a? And you know what? And I told
Drew.
you I'd rather have a female.
Drew, it is definitely an intervention, a social media intervention for you. So yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It
well,
was supposed to be a surprise. You ruined it.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I did ruin it.
Well, hey, Mario, I appreciate you having Drew and I on. I got to bounce tonight, but man,
Of course,
it was a great
man. Hey, I
show.
appreciate you being on, champ. Thank you so much.
To
Drew, you gonna
everybody
sit
out
around
there.
and watch Nicholson?
Yeah, I ain't doing that.
Okay,
Oh, that's
go
might
ahead,
be
give your,
over already.
Go ahead,
All right,
give your
guys. I'll let you
go
guys
ahead,
stay
give your
on. I'm gonna
socials.
and I'll see you on Monday. I appreciate everybody. Everybody have a
go-
great weekend.
Okay, I'll give the socials. No big deal.
Okay, perfect, man. I appreciate you, Mario. All right, later, Drew.
Later.
Peace out, champ. Yeah, listen, I'll stick around for this for this Dion Nicholson fight for the rest of it. Drew, so far, what are you seeing from Dion Nicholson that you like or dislike?
If you look at it, he knows how to do combinations. He goes for the body. He's a body puncher. Like the one thing I just dislike, you see that how how they both weighed in at this fight.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what weight division he wants to be in yet. That tells you that if it's a fight that's over like 180 pounds, he don't know what weight division he's going to campaign at. And that's one thing. I think he was at 30. I think it's 31, or the other guy was 31.
Bro, that's a really good point. You know, that was one thing we had him on the show. I've interviewed him a few times, and that was one thing that we'd always talk about. And I'll be honest, it got to a point where he didn't like the question anymore. I mean, he wouldn't get mad or anything, but you could tell it's like a situation that people, openly discuss with him. But I always thought, oh my God, a big right hand he landed. Yo, this kid is actually taking a beating and still fighting hard.
But you know what? That last knockdown, he literally knocked him. He literally punched him while he was on the ground.
I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that. That was gross. I saw the replay. I wasn't watching, Drew. I saw the replay. He was on the ground, his knee, and then he fucking just overhand righted him, dude.
I don't know why the referee did not warn him about that.
You said it earlier, Drew. You said this is some of the worst ref jobs in a while, and you were absolutely right. That was a terrible main event ref job from Wilder, and it was also a bad job there to let that knockdown. And he called it a knockdown, right?
Yeah, he actually did call it a knockdown.
Crazy, dude. That's so crazy. Yo, that jab is really nice. I like the way that he's able to get that extra extension off. So when he hits you at the very, very end of the punch, he's using it to gauge, and he's inching closer.
I don't like when he has him on the ropes. He moves in on, like, he goes close to him and make like a phone booth type of position.
He doesn't pick his shots.
He needs to stay at a mid-range point. He's a mid-range guy. He needs to stay at that point. He's not an inside guy.
Absolutely, dude.
See,
well said.
He can't.
You're absolutely. Oh, there you go, dude.
It opens up. He opens himself up.
Stop it, bro. Let me find out you're like 2 minutes ahead of everybody else. No, I'm playing. Dude, you said it right there. He kept his distance, used the jab, and scored a huge right hand. Another one.
You can't. You're a mid-range guy. You're not an inside guy, because the inside guy would be able to block that. He's not able to block that at all because he has his hands down to the body, and he's worried about it. That dude could easily just go up and nail him with a hook.
Hell yeah. Yo, shout out to Teddy Fam in the chat. You're the champ. Remember to like and subscribe. SHOESHINE Boxing on YouTube. Infighting FX on YouTube and Twitch and X. Drew, what's your socials? Because we're doing the intervention. No, I'm just kidding. I know you don't give.
I got a Twitch channel, gaming channel at Philly.
Oh, no shit.
Twitch.
Oh, we're gonna have to link up then. I've been gaming.
Yeah,
I've been gaming a little bit more.
I just got the laptop so I can use it to stream OBS now.
Nice, champ.
Yeah, so
there you go.
I also
need to get on your level.
I also stream on the YouTube Philly Irish Drew Evo. I'm on the SHOESHINE. And
Yeah. Definitely, you can catch Drew on SHOESHINE as well.
And it's Drew Evo on Twitch, on Twitter or X, wherever it is. But if you look at it, but from what I'm seeing, he's a mid-range guy, and he needs to stick to that. Going inside, it's just going to cause him to get hit, and the dude's not even that much of a threat if you look at it. But he's keeping him in. He's giving him hope by doing that.
I see how well he's able to pick shots, right? And you're absolutely right. My wonder or my thinking is, how fast is he going to be able to make those decisions in moments where a guy will punch back in that situation, where a guy will come forward to him, give him more resistance. He's got a great story too. Dion does. All right, they step out for the beginning of round 4. Nicholson popping that jab.
That's what he needs to do. That's what he needs to do. Hit him, back up, reset.
Nasty
you got
work.
the knockdown right there.
Bro, you called that, Drew. You set that shit up from the last 3 rounds. You said it. Or 2 rounds.
He stopped him right there. That's a body shot that just stopped it. If you go there and you back up and reset, make him come to you and sets him up for a counter shot.
Beautiful, beautiful shot. And just as Drew had drew it up, he said he needed to fight him from the mid-range, utilize that attack to set up the more methodical power shots. And that's exactly what Dion did in this situation. He didn't pressure, but he stood his ground, got him to the back, got his back against the ropes, and used the mid-range to set up and strike. Again, methodically, not getting in close to that phone booth fight like Drew had said, not sniping from long range or throwing crazy overheads. This was a very, very high level sequence right there.
But I tell you, if it was me, I would have this.
Shout out Teddy, you're the champ, Teddy fam.
I would have this dude campaign at hour 168 or 175.
Hell yeah.
He's too short for cruiserweight.
Yeah, he's way too short for cruiserweight, I think. Yo, just a heads up, Teddy, we are going, and everybody else, we're going to be live tomorrow from 12 o'clock till 12 midnight Central Time. We'll start with WWE Night of Champions, and I guess the Chavez fight card starts super early from what I'm being told. And then we're going to kick it all the way into UFC 317, Topuria and Oliveira. So yeah, make sure you tap in, make sure you lock in, make sure you're sub, make sure notifications on. We will be live the entire time for that great lineup. Remember, this is the spot: boxing, MMA, and wrestling. All right, here you go. Dion's talking.
You showed a lot of versatility and displayed your power. Did you feel comfortable in there tonight? Yeah, I felt comfortable, man. I was just getting started. So.
He kind of looked like he was huffing, puffing a little.
To challenge somebody in the top 10. I'm looking forward to somebody like David Morrell or somebody like that, David Benavidez. I want somebody like that.
Damn. I was campaigning at light heavyweight.
Yeah, I'm the monster. You heard it, Wichita. Dion Nicholson, give it up for him.
I don't know. I think you're right, bro.
I don't think he beats Morrell.
You don't think he beats Morrell?
Nah.
I would not have him as the favorite going into that fight.
Nah.
Obviously I don't think he's going to get that, but I think you could put him in a position where you can still build him up. Yeah, he's an older guy, right? But there's not as much miles, on the tires for somebody typically his age in boxing.
Yeah,
he's moving well. What'd you say?
Overall, this wasn't really a good produced BLK Prime card.
Yeah. It was definitely not super great. But just a reminder, everybody, Wilder did score the stoppage win. Deion Nicholson also gets the win. Billy on the top rank, on the ESPN Plus card, also got the win tonight over Suleki. First round stoppage. It was probably the best performance of the night across both cards. But yeah, Drew, any last words before we get out of here on tonight's action or tomorrow's action?
I'll look at it like this. Every time Jake Paul fights, I figure it's a joke. So I clearly can't. I don't really take him seriously as a fighter because of the competition. Even the Mike Tyson fight, it was a joke and everything. And I think it's bad for the sport of boxing the way it is now.
Yeah, that's definitely a good place to head into tomorrow's night, keeping that in mind. However, I don't want people to underestimate the seriousness of tomorrow. I'm not promoting this fight. I'm not selling it. All right. I think the undercard's terrific and terrific bargain for the boxing fan. However, the reason why tomorrow night's fight is serious for boxing fans is because Jake Paul is campaigning for an actual world title, and boxing is corrupt enough to allow him to beat a Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who has not been a serious contender in over 6 years, who was just out of rehab, hasn't fought in X amount of times, looked horrible. And if he beats him, Jake Paul will likely be in a position to either fight for a title, an interim title, or a number one contender spot. And so that's a reason to be almost rooting for Chavez Jr. at this point. And so I think that's definitely a narrative that everybody should be paying attention to. But as far as everything else, I definitely thought that, y'all made some great points with the Tevin Farmer stuff. Remember, we will be live 1 o'clock Eastern to 1 a.m. Eastern tomorrow night in Fighting FX. Drew, you want to give out your socials one last time?
Twitch.tv/Philly Irish Drew Evo. That's the gaming channel. The YouTube is Philly Irish Drew Evo 2. That's mixture of gaming and like variety stuff, like collecting variables, like because I collect retro gaming stuff too.
Oh, that's dope. Oh yeah.
You guys, I got the Japanese Nintendo Famicom over there.
Dude, that's sick. That's super sick. I want the Nintendo 64 one that I keep seeing on TikTok.
Oh, I got the actual systems, the Famicom, and I got the N64 and Dreamcast.
Yo, salute to Drew, bro. That's real gaming shit, right? I just started streaming on Twitch gaming, so I'm still trying to get my bearings. I mean, I played, you know what I mean, but I just never streamed, so, or at least not that. But again, everybody, in Fighting FX, the place to be tomorrow night. Boxing, MMA, wrestling, all in one spot. I want to thank SHOESHINE for tapping in. He is the champ. Remember, he'll be on Monday's show along with Emily, publicist of the Boxing Stars. I want to thank Drew for coming in, tapping through. By the way, I was on D-Style show earlier today. Check that out. Shout out to D-Style. And I was on the Boxing Biz with Doomy. Shout out to Doomy. He's the champ as well. Yeah. Oh shit, Wile E. Coyote got the mini SNES. Yo, that's sick, bro. Oh my god, I want to play Pilot Wing so bad now that you just said that. All right, until tomorrow, guys, everybody have a safe night. Peace.